Hello, this is our product technique or Trade Garden. And Trade Garden is the smart garden light brand with IKEA. We named as Technical Trade Garden. We wanted to follow the brand IKEA of how most of their product names are Swedish words. And our product price is $189.99.
And we settled on that price because we wanted to stay true to the IKEA brand image of having affordable products that are good quality. And the Technic Tray Guard is the only affordable and space-saving smart garden with automatic watering, soil moisture monitoring, and various atmospheric level sensors that make gardening simple and comprehensible for environmentally conscious 20 to 34-year-olds, and especially if they live in homes with less than ideal garden conditions. And its chic design makes it the perfect addition for any millennial and Gen Z consumer home. You're on mute.
Before we start to explain about the product, we want to explain about our brand. Our brand is IKEA, and we're here for combining function, quality, design, and value, always with the sustainability in mind. What we prefer. It is global home furnishing brand that brings affordability, design, and comfort to people all over the world to create a better everyday life for the many people. What we offer. Also, IKEA's primary product is furniture, but they also offer storage solutions, kitchen accessories, and all with the low prices and good quality. IKEA offers unique and practical in-house design that attract the broad range of consumers. They keep prices low by recycling, waste reduction, minimum package, and in-house design. And next slide will be.
And first, let's take a look at like the state of gardening today. So the COVID pandemic created about 18 million new gardeners, and most of whom fall within the millennial age bracket. And also the sales online of gardening goods worldwide doubled due to the pandemic. In the US, 55% of households engage in gardening activities, and 1 in 3 households growing food. We just really see a huge opportunity for IKEA to expand its reach and to provide a solution for people to effectively navigate gardening, because it's not as simple as one may think. And so we wanted to stay aligned with IKEA, so therefore the age bracket and genders are the same for our target markets, middle class, and we're aiming to reach people who are health conscious and either like to or are curious about growing plants. These people are environmentally conscious and also have an eye for style. This product, we want this product to have you think twice. Like, is that just a fixture? Is that decoration, or is it functional? Well, it's both. And when thinking about issues we wanted to solve, the first was the being environmentally friendly. One of the good ways to reduce like water footprint is to grow your own produce. And here is a way to do so. And no longer will we have to go into a supermarket and you want to have like your favorite produce, but only you find that it's no longer there or that it's low quality because it's off season. Our product, there is no such thing as off season produce. And our device also improves the air quality at homes, which is great for urban settings where the air quality is not always the best. And for the consumer benefits, they gain a greater sense of helping the environment. They have fresh produce at their fingertips. They get to experience the therapeutic effects from gardening and improve air quality and have a stylish home decor addition. And here's Sarah, a target consumer for us. And she's busy working her New York life. Spends a lot of time at her office. Lives in a small apartment, but she wants to keep healthy and has an interest in growing foods. However, with her busy schedule and how finicky plants can be, it's not always the easiest thing. But she needs a space-saving way to cultivate plants, and wouldn't mind some additional decorative furniture. And here's a snapshot of how we compare to some of our competitors. And as you can see, we're the only product that offers uh, the automatic watering growth, and we don't take up any counter space. We have an affordable price, and we have like temperature, humidity, and CO2 sensors to indicate to consumers when the plant needs watering, and how to regulate the soil. It should be noted that the other three listed on here, the other three products, they are hydroponic, and our product is not. Hydroponic just means that you don't need soil to grow. And for us, we decided to go for a more educational route. And by having a device that utilizes soil, you learn how finicky soil can be and ways to work around it, which our product does through our various sensors. And you can easily just add water to some seeds and grow them with the other products. But this one, there's that more educational aspect. And also, a little bit of that therapy you feel when you're putting your fingers through that soil. That's what you're going to get with us. And seeing the IKEA name, people are going to already know like we're reliable, we're affordable, and we deliver. As for our promotional strategy for online, we're going to feature this product in our social media pages, included in our email newsletters, and even like host some contests online for having people showcase how they style their room using our product. And we have some select winners win some nice prizes. And as for in-store, we want to create a display that's like an immersive rainforest or Garden of Eden kind of experience in a way to immerse people, make them feel like that they're in the device themselves, but just to get the feel of how like natural and how great this is. And for our placement, we want to make it available in the US to start and then expand to all of our stores worldwide, and also feature it on our website.
Here is our concept development process. Due to the pandemic, so people spend more time in the home, and they try to find it more fun when they stay at home. So some people will choose to garden by themselves, and they are more willing to pay the money to decorate their home. And more people pursuing the organic food and a healthier lifestyle. So our product could achieve their target by let them to cultivate the plants or the food by themselves. Also, the urban people is very busy, so we added some the smart feature to let them to saving more time to take care of the plant, and they have very busy, so they don't have many time to learn about the skills of cultivate plants. So this smart feature could help them too. Also, we want our product can have some decoration function to increase their home life. So at the very beginning, we designed some rectangular product and the shape product, but it's too small to use in the real life. So we try to combination our idea with IKEA existing product to make the plant cart. But this one is too big and it's not fashion enough to decorate it home. So we make the concept of the moon-like ball-like things, and we try to save more space. So we changing the put on the table to hanging on the ceiling, and we make the different appearance of the light.
And next page. From this sketch page, all the sketches are how we develop our beginning ideas, and this page is how we refine our concept. For first sketch, I tried to show the shape of techniques, trade guard, and explode view. The second sketch is more finalized version of sketch. We changed to have a window to let people have cut herbs and eat. So I wanted to have sketch showing plants in our product. Also, this sketch shows the concept of an icon, the product which is showing the power system for temperature, soil, water, and degree. And we will talk about this detail on other pages. Finer design and explode view. The finer, we wanted to give decorative light and works as a smart garden at the same time. This this is for kitchen product, and consumers can grow the plants and have for their meal. It will let people know when it's out of water, soil, and temperature. And basically, this is why we say smart garden light. It shows more detail with how it works by cutting our product to half on the left side. And if you guys see the right side sketch, consumers can have a choice of amount of smart garden light.
So here is our final render of the product. So our product including the rotate window. So when the consumer could close it to create a greenhouse environment for plant. Also can open it for pick up or cut the plant. At the bottom, it have the water box. It provides the water storage space for the automatic watering system. Also, it have a special insert matter, so it can avoid the water box to fall. And at the right side is some the smart feature department. Um, Here is the icon on our smart garden. And so the first green icon represents the temperature, humidity, carbon dioxide concentration degree, and the green one represents the soil moisture degree, and the blue one is the water storage degree. So the consumer could know the treatment of the plant of the water storage by the light difference of this icon. This is a product in the environment. So the consumer could buy the several smart garden lights based on their needs. And the individual growing space avoid the plants competing and help that happen in the same port cultivation and handling and selling, saving a lot of work table space for the small apartment.
And there is smart feature. First, we have air metric detection and control, which works for temperature, humidity, CO2 concentration sensor, and air duct valve and PWM fans and LCD display for general user interface. Second, we have the timer. This is to check timing and setting day and nighttime. Third, grow lights. And this works with orange, green, and blue LEDs. Fourth is watering. This is for solenoid valves and soil moisture sensors and water level sensor.
And for is engineering part.
From this page, we will pass on to engineers.
All right, so this is just basically our all the components that are going to be interfaced with the microcontroller. We're using the Atmega 328P. It's right here on the board here. So we're going to use a soil moisture sensor, a combination sensor, which handles temperature, humidity, and CO2, a water level sensor. We're going to have LEDs to help stimulate growth, solenoid valve, a fan, and a 2 water level sensors. So our board right here. Next slide, please. And this is our soil capacitive moisture sensor. So this is the one that's already attached to the board. Basically, you place it in the soil and it'll tell you the how much moisture is in the soil, so it can adjust, and it can send data to our microcontroller so that it can adjust accordingly. Go ahead. Next slide, please.
Solenoid valve and water level sensor is we just put it here in the box. It hasn't been reinstalled. They should be controlling the watering of the plant, and together with the soil moisture sensor, it should be able to maintain a proper moisture level of the soil. When the moisture level is low, it just basically waters plants. And the water level sensor will will give the signal like whether there's enough water within the water tank, so that the user would know when to add more water to the water tank. Next slide, please.
Yep, so we're going to be using a PWM fan. The goal is to move air around the greenhouse so that we get enough airflow, and so that when there is that differential between the CO2 and oxygen, then we can route it through into the greenhouse. And the way that we detect it is that we'll be using a humidity and CO2 concentration sensor, and when it detects that the humidity level outside or the CO2 level outside is greater and optimal for the plant, then we'll route the air inside. Next slide.
And this is essentially our state machine diagram. So we have an initial state that happens on reset. It can move to a night state where it can adjust accordingly due to it being night, so there's less light. It can also detect whether it's daytime, so then it can move to the daytime state, and it can it has its own internal variables, so it can call certain functions to adjust to the new sunlight. And we also have a state, which is a set time state, where the user can interface with the LCD, and they can essentially press some buttons and they can set the time. We go to that set time state by just long pressing. So we have logic where we long press the button and it can detect that we want to go to the set time state. Next slide, please.
From this page, it's about our benefits of Techniques trade card. First, sustainability. We use recycled plastic and reusable plant pot, which is Smart Garden. Second, innovative lifestyle. We offer urban plant environment consistently lifestyle combination, furniture and nature plant. And thank you. That was all of our presentation for technical trade card.
Okay, just is it? I didn't see. This thing is battery powered, or is it supposed to be connected to an AC type power?
It's connected to the traditional electric.
Okay, so it plugs into something like when a wire goes up to the ceiling to plug into something there. I see. Okay.
One of the things you mentioned is it was $200, and that seems like about right for one of those modules. Is that $200 for each module? Because I know you have also the rack that they connect into. So is that a module where you'd spend like $200 for each one of those spheres, and then you'd have like $200 or whatever for the that rail that they go into. Is that what I'm looking at? So you'd be looking at like 4 of those things would be 800, but 4 of those things hanging would be like 1,000, or is it $200 for like all 4?
It will be for the prices for each smart garden light.
Okay. One
But
of the
we're
things.
also,
Go ahead.
but we're, if there's a consumer that buys one but wants to purchase a few more, we're open to having a discounts for each continued purchases.
Gotcha. What I might recommend is have for the bank, because it sounds like that's part of the module, and a lot of track lighting is built like that, right? You have the track light, and then you have individual modules that get their power off the track, so you could put as many lights as possible. I might recommend having one that's a shorter unit, so you can have one just for a single piece. Like if a person wanted to have a single one in their house, they don't have to have the long track. They can just have the one, but then have that option for that longer thing for those people that have that. And I might suggest figure out how that factors into the cost, just because, normally they're going to be kind of plugging that in and have to screw it into a ceiling or something like that.
Got it. Thank you for the feedback.
Mhm.
I wasn't sure if you guys covered the sustainability aspect, like how that fits into the sustainability goals for the product overall.
Well, one way to be sustainable is to reduce water consumption, and by growing your own produce is a way to conserve water and energy, because if you were to buy fruit at the supermarket, for that fruit to get to the supermarket, it had to be grown, it had to be transported, watered, and all that to get to the supermarket. But with this, you grow it in the home. There's less carbon footprint and water footprint used.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Also, I mentioned that the plant pot, it's like a reusable plant pot, and whenever the plants died, or it won't be died because it's the smart garden, and that is also works for the sustainability function. And our smart garden is reusable anytime, and we can always have that for our entire life, and we also think that that's like a sustainability function.
All right. Thank you.
I have a question. I love the UI gradients. I think they look beautiful. I do like the fact that they're also, the color blindness is covered because you're dealing with colors that aren't like red, green, and you're not blue, yellow. You kind of have a little bit of a mix in there. So and there's a clear icon. But one of the things I'm wondering that I didn't see in there is when I get this and I take it out of the box, is it just when I put a plant in there and I fill it with water, is that just what determines the height levels of those things? Or is there a setup that I have to do on like a phone? Or is there a setup that I have to do with buttons or anything like that? What's the metric that, like when I'm first setting it up, is there a metric that determines what the top and the bottom of each one of those gradients is?
So it's standalone. It doesn't connect to other devices, and so it's all determined based off of the predetermined metrics. So there's the water level sensors that'll do the water level one, and then the only interface you have to do is to set the time so that the lights aren't on at night.
The water level sensor is basically like 3. I think it's 3. Well, we can make it more fine grind, but most of the case it doesn't need that much details. So it's basically 3 sensors, and each of them separately detects if it is in touch with water, and by that can make the top. We can say when that is submerged within the water, when it's touching the water, it means that obviously the tank is full, and the lowest means that it's almost empty. And we're trying to make it so that it will not keep fluctuating, because we just add the third sensor so that we don't want it to be like it won't stuck between the two values, and
Okay,
like there's a way to tell if it's a bubble below.
bistable.
Yeah.
Are there buttons for being able to do like the reset of the clock? Like if it, let's say we lose power and I have to reset it, is there a metric? I don't know if I saw buttons on there. There's a lot to take in, so I was trying to look for them if they were.
Yeah, so we originally planned to have the buttons, and we actually use the LCD screen to do the work, at least in our prototype.
Okay.
Because like, I mean, if you want to adjust the time, obviously the user needs to like see the time it's adjusting, otherwise it's just so hard to use, right? Well, for cases, well, when we're actually building a prototype, when we're actually building the product, chances are we will very likely to have some sort of apps to being used along with it. Like, although like as a prototype, it's something standalone. I think it like when it's actually sold as a product, it's supposed to be coming with a app that is being used together, so that there's not only just ways that for you to adjust the time, it should be also be able to like give you a notification that like the water is low, because otherwise like we have the products on the market and saying that there's no enough water within the soil and you need to water it, but the chances are the user just ignores it and just don't see it. And we're thinking that if we try to have some sort of app, then this notification can be less likely to be ignored. Yeah, like easier to use for this case. So since it's more likely to be used with the app, then like the final product doesn't need that LCD screen on top.
If you can make it even something as simple as just like on my car, I've got 2 buttons and I just press the 2 of them. One enables clock mode, and then I can just literally do the 2 back and forth to create the like advancing of the hour, advancing of the minute. I think that might be enough for you. It's like even just having like the base 2 button system might be enough for you to do those settings.
Yes, that's right. And that's actually why we have the state machine, and we basically only uses the button to state transition. Well, the thing is like when we wanted to add the LCD screen, the concern is first of all the LCD screen might consume power, and also it's very likely that it's not fitting the style of this design. We want to keep the style to be minimalist, and like having that style of like not having the fancy LCD screen like stuck in the bottom of the whole like module. That's probably why we just decided that it shouldn't be included within the final product. We're just using it as a way to do the prototype and to actually like build the functions.
That makes sense. But yeah, I would say buttons rather than a big LCD screen, just because you want something that looks elegant, and at least your logos and icons, even with the gradients, look elegant.
Yes, that's true.
Thank you.
Mhm.